Welcome, welcome, friend. We are talking sourdough today. I have 3 breakfast meals to bring to you that we use on a regular basis that I think you will love, so stay tuned. Now, if you are in the habit of making sourdough bread and everything that involves, you will probably always have some kind of almost stale bread on hand because we utilize it a lot, but there are different days where, we might go a day without having sandwiches or having it with soup or something like that. So we pretty much always have this on hand, and it starts kind of getting like not as fun. So this meal is perfect for utilizing that bread. You could also just do this with regular bread. If you have some around your house that is starting to not be as appealing, this is great for this. This is a breakfast strata, and it is one of those meals where you can just make it into so many different styles. You've got your bread, any kind of veggies you have that you do want to throw in, a sausage or bacon type meat, and lots of eggs. So with this, I did sausage, and I did not have any onion on hand. I thought I bought some just the other day and went all through my cabinets, and apparently I either left it in the store or just made things up in my head. I'm not sure, but I did not have onions. So we decided to do a lot of onion powder and just use what we had. And I had some mushrooms, so I wanted to throw those in there for some easy little protein, and weren't really even going to taste them or see them in the dish. So my kids would be fine with it. Now, I will list all of the recipes down below, but 2 of these recipes I'm sharing today are from Farmhouse on Boone. I really always go to Lisa's blog first when I'm doing anything sourdough that's new, and use those recipes as a base for a lot of different styles. And then slowly over time and getting comfortable with the recipes, I'll adapt them to our family and our style of eating. And so a lot of times the recipes take a completely different form over time, but the recipe to begin with is delicious when it comes from her blog, so that is always an awesome place to start if you are trying to find some delicious sourdough recipes to start with. So I'm just really layering in the spices. I showed the spices there that I'm using today. And like I said, using a ton of onion powder to hopefully make up for a little bit of that onion that I lost in not having my invisible onion that never existed apparently. I am using an immersion blender. We just got this one not too long ago. I love it. I will link it below in case you're in the market because it is extremely affordable, and it's even more powerful than the previous one we had that just finally bit the dust because I did actually buy that one used. So it's been around for quite some years. So this one I've been very impressed with. And this is also an awesome hack for whisking up your eggs and really blending everything without having to use a blender. So did that today and just really got everything combined. So I've got my bread in there today, and I added some cheese. You really need to put this in a large bowl if you want to do it a clean way. But I wasn't dirtying another bowl. So I just kept it in the dish, went ahead and mixed everything up, kind of used my hands there to help guide it and keep it in the pan the best I could. There were still some casualties, but we just threw them back in there. And then I'm going to pour the egg mixture all over it, and I'm doing this the night before, the evening before, because I love getting to have these types of recipes prepped ahead of time, and I'm just pressing it all in there really good. Just don't be afraid to use your hands, guys. They're like the best tool ever. And just to soak up all that delicious mixture. So this is the next morning. I'm going to take it out. This does take a while to cook, so that's why I like prepping the night before. It really absorbs everything and you get the best results. Plus, it's ready to go, and I just pop it in. I'm going to add the rest of the cheese here, and I just pop it in there into the cold oven and just kind of let it heat up at the same time with the oven. So that tends to always work out well for us. If you forget to do that, no biggie. I just try to let my pan sit out for a few on the counter, just so it's not like ice cold going into an extremely hot oven. I'm also getting started with prepping our muffins. So all of these 3 recipes to me are quite simple because you can either prep them ahead of time or they are quick to throw together the morning of. So the strata I would consider being a great prep ahead type meal, to where if you have some time the night before, it is great to just pop it in the oven and go about your morning until it's ready. And these muffins, although not ridiculously time consuming, I still like to prep them ahead of time because there's just enough going on in the mornings. So if you can do something ahead of time, why not? You can even make the batter the night before if you wanted and pop it in the fridge. I've done that before. It works fine. It's nothing like making it fresh. So I usually just try to make them that same day and then toss them in a bag to store for later. But in a pinch, you could definitely do that. So these are sourdough banana muffins. And this is from a blog that I cannot remember the name of right now. So I'll just put that in the description. But I found these quite a while ago, and we have just adapted these so many different ways to our liking, and they turn out great every time. The only thing I will say is one time I forgot the oil, and that was kind of necessary, I did find out. So definitely add the oil. But other than that, just kind of cater it to your own liking. We decided to do blueberry banana muffins today. I do see a big difference in the sweetness of these muffins based on how ripe my bananas are. These bananas, they don't look like super yellow or like underripe is what I'm trying to say, but they were not near as ripe as I like them to be for the muffins. We use about 3, and when they are a lot more mushy, they make the best muffins. So because of that, these muffins weren't quite as sweet this time. My kids don't really notice the difference, so I didn't worry about it. I didn't even add more sugar. But if you are concerned with your kids liking them, or if you're used to things a little bit sweeter, or just enjoy that, I would definitely use super ripe ones. So my strata is coming out of the oven. It's what we actually got to eat. So delicious. I don't know where stratas were all my life, but it's like Christmas dinner all in one dish. And no, it doesn't taste like Christmas dinner. It's just that level of cozy comfort food for me. And my husband loves it as well. This has been a great thing for the morning time and just having, a carb, protein, fat type meal that is ready to go. We've even eaten it cold, and it's great that way. So I don't have to have something super time consuming on busy. So we love that. Back to the muffin. So I add in the sugar here. We didn't end up making it sweeter, like I said, but I'm using frozen blueberries. So I do mix those in the dry mixture first. I read that if you toss the blueberries with flour, or in this case, my mixture of flour, they kind of balance themselves out in the muffins. And if you don't, they sink, I believe, to the bottom or the top, one or the other. So we mixed that, and that works great. They were well blended through the muffin. Not that any of us would have complained either way. So these just get thrown together. They are always a crowd pleaser. My kids love them, and they get requested, wow, probably more than anything. So you'll see I have kids because I only have what, 10, 11 muffin tin liners? No, 9, wow. So because of that, I had to go track down some paper liners. I think we will probably go to paper liners after this because the silicone has been hard to keep up with little kids because they just disappear somehow. And here they are. They were delightful. They look special. And the inside is all moist. You can see, yes, proof that they're delicious. All right, this last meal is one of those where you can throw it together the morning of very quickly. You don't even have to, though. If you just want to blend it up the night before and pop it in the fridge, you could totally do that. So this is one of those where it's like, I really think it would be just as quick as, throwing some frozen waffles in the toaster. So definitely one to consider. I don't really measure the sourdough starter. I haven't really found that it's that big of a deal either way. So we just throw in there about 2 cups and add a bunch of eggs. I added 7 or 8 to this one. And we decided to make this pumpkin-y. So we had never done this before. But of course it is fall and I am having all the fall feels and definitely wanted to incorporate fall in our food. So I've been using pumpkin spice, our little homemade blend. I'll put the recipe for that down in the description as well because I never really buy just pumpkin spice. I found that it just sat in my cabinet and I would forget about it for the whole rest of the year. So I went ahead and made it homemade and I've actually utilized it a ton. So I could have just gotten pumpkin spice, but I wasn't at the store. Making it at home was perfect because I had all the ingredients. So I added some cinnamon, some cardamom because I still have some and it's delightful spice. You really should smell it. And then my homemade blend of pumpkin spice there. And spoiler alert, this was delightful. I mean, so flavorful. I really was like having pumpkin pie, except maybe better. And it was just a hit. We all loved it. And I'm probably going to be doing that for quite a while now until we just get completely sick of it. So you want to heat your butter up in the skillet. So that's what I'm getting here. Just heating the butter up in the oven while it preheats because you pour this mixture right into the hot pan and then it gets to cooking. So I'm pretty sure you can use any blender for blending this mixture up, but we have a Vitamix and it was one of those purchases that was just way worth it that we made it the closer to the beginning of our marriage. And now I'm like, I can't believe we spent all that money on a blender. But I use it probably 1 to 2 times every single day. And we've been married for a little while now. So it has definitely stood the test of time, and I think it has a lot more years on it. So if you're looking for an investment, that is one that is well worth it. So here is the final product here. Sometimes I get a really big, like puffy angle on this, but this time it didn't get super puffy, which I kind of figured. But you can kind of see some of the dimension there, and it's fun. We serve ours with maple syrup and butter, and I don't really think there's a better way to do that, but you can make a fruit compote as well. That tastes very good on top, but Oh, maple syrup and butter was all this needed to be completely delightful. So thanks for joining me today, guys. I'll have all these links in the description. Hope to see you next week for another video. Just let me know in the comments if you like these type of sourdough videos, and I will have more coming your way. We use our discard mostly every day, so I would have some more for you if you like that kind of thing. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.